How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. All right. Welcome. Hopefully, this will start going live for everyone else here as well shortly. Um, if you are joining us live or um, will be joining us later, I'd like to welcome my guest, Nicole, who is
Well,
going to help us tonight with some healthy tips on some food prep and staying active for the fall. As it's not cool today, but as the weather starts to get a little cooler. So, welcome, Nicole.
thanks for having me, Patty.
You're welcome. All right. So, what would be your, well, first let's go back. We'll go to you and we'll say a little background. You can give us a little background for on you.
Absolutely. Well, I've been a personal trainer for 14 years. I got into the field for a couple of reasons, but the most important is I've lost a lot of relatives because of obesity. Obesity runs in my family. My grandma died at 53 for a she had a heart attack. I was a senior in high school, and obesity is genetic or hereditary, and so I went to school. As I was going to school, I learned that genetics is 25%. Um, it only has 25% to do with your genes, and you have 75% of control over what um, of your life. So the 75% of it is environment. Also, 80% of deaths in the United States is heart disease, which is avoidable through healthy living. So just increasing your daily activity, eating a little healthier, drinking your water, everything is at the tip of our fingertips. And we have control. We have control of what we eat, what we feed our children, what activity we're doing. So it's really important to me to share and to advocate for health because we we can avoid the 80%, and we want to take care of ourselves now so our bodies can take care of us later. I want to be doing cartwheels when I'm 80 and keeping up with everybody, and it's important to live a consciously healthy life. So
Yeah,
that's why I
ditto.
do what I do.
I want to be one of those 80-year-olds doing cartwheels. That would be right up my alley.
We can do it. I'm telling you. It just if you don't move it, you lose it. If you don't use your brain, or you lose your mind. If you don't use your body, you lose mobility, and it's important to keep up with what we do it every day and what we want to do.
Okay. All right. So, on that note, what are what are some good tips or what are some good suggestions just to get started with, like for meal prep? What would be a good thing for families as they're going into the fall and school? Kids are actually starting to get back into the school. Um, what are some good tips that you've got?
Well, one, the five most important keys to living a healthy life would be um, eating nutrition dense foods, which are full of fiber and protein. Fiber is great for our digestive tract and our digestion. Our gut is second to our brain in importance. Every time you eat, there's a chemical reaction, and you can either have foods that are going to give us energy and make us feel good, or you're going to have foods that are going to make you lethargic and your joints hurt. And you really want to eat to heal and eat to be active. So getting your fiber and your protein is very important. A couple of tips for feeding the family would be to create a menu for the week before you go shopping. Create your grocery list and stick with the perimeter of the grocery store. You want to avoid foods that have more than 6 ingredients. Your food should be your ingredient.
So
So
when you say avoid foods that have more than six ingredients, you mean like not making foods that way, but like when you buy them, like a
yes, when you
product.
buy them
Okay.
pre-made, boxed, a lot of those ingredients you can't even pronounce, and they're chemicals that are going to do bad for your body instead of good. You want to eat in season. They are less processed and less chemicals sprayed on them. They taste better. So all in season veggies are important. Crock pot meals. It's real easy to make anything in the crock pot these days. Um,
You gave me one of the best tips when we chatted earlier. My I don't know why I've not done this before, but your suggestion was when you go to the grocery store and you bring home your fruits and vegetables to
Yep, cut
immediately.
them up then. That way they're easy access. I mean, in reality, pre-making all your meals would make you like it saves time, but that's just we don't live in that lifestyle, especially with our families. So if you go to the when you go to the grocery store, as soon as you get home, avoid letting your produce go bad by pre-cutting everything up, and that way it's there when you're cooking. You can just throw it in whatever meal you're making. We should have 5 servings of vegetables every day, and unfortunately we don't really get that, and
Yeah.
that's when we can sneak in the chia seeds and the flax seeds that increase the fiber, increase the protein. um, and you can't taste chia seeds and flax seeds, so you
Yeah.
can hide them. It adds some fiber, but definitely pre-cut your vegetables and they're ready for you. And keep them available as snacks too. If you have junk on your countertops, take it off. Like, don't grab those for snacks. Don't let your kids grab them for snacks. Keep nuts, fruits, vegetables on your counters so that it's there. It's convenient and it's crunchy and it's going to fill you up.
Yeah. So question. So if the people that are logged in with us now are tuned in, tell me if you've done that before, because until she suggested it, I don't know why it's something. I guess I used to cut up like celery and keep it in the refrigerator, but I brought all of the like red, yellow, and orange peppers, cut them all up, put them in containers immediately. So those of you that are watching, have you done that before, or did you know to do that? Am I like the last one to the show here, knowing that that's what you do? So kind of chime in and let us know if that's something you guys have done, or if you have a question about food prep or meal prep. Put your questions on there so that so I can ask Nicole.
Absolutely.
Please help
Yes,
me.
yes.
So let's see, give them a second here to see if anybody has a question before we keep going. So, and if you want me to put up the tips, you tell me, and because I've got them here for you.
Oh, yeah, you can put them up.
All right, that way people can see them. There we go.
Oh, yeah, the condiments. So we have a lot of hidden sugars in our condiments, like syrup. I mean, there's like 26 grams of sugar and like 1 tablespoon of syrup. Walden Farms is a great brand of condiments. You can get salad dressings, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, um, and syrup if you like syrup. And the syrup tastes just like regular syrup.
Huh. Okay, yeah, Renee said when I do that, I throw away a lot less. Exactly. Yeah, I was so excited to have all my peppers cut up and I threw them in my omelets. I mean, we use them for everything here, but it was so, yeah, agreed, Renee. Same here.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else. You said so pre-cutting the veggies and the fruit,
Hmm.
chia seed and flax seed. So if people haven't used those before, um, does one of them? I'm trying to remember. Doesn't one of those have a little more of a nuttier flavor?
Flaxseed would have
Flax.
a little nuttier flavor. Chia seeds they don't have any kind of flavor, but they both are full of fiber and protein. Also, your omega fats.
So
It's
what would you
great for
put those
heart
in?
health and digestive health.
What would you put those in?
Anything. When you're cooking, you put them. You can put them in any food. You can put them in yogurt. You can um, everything. They don't have a taste. I mean, the chia seeds don't have a taste. Flaxseed, slight taste, but you don't. I don't actually taste it. People say it tastes a little nuttier, but I don't taste
Okay.
it.
Okay. So what other tips there that you've got? The Mrs. Dash. Yeah. After Neil's stroke here, we tried to cut down on the salt. We were really good at it in the beginning, but as and it's only been 7 months, but we've kind of slacked off a little bit. So we need to get back to the Mrs. Dash, and that's one of the things they highly recommended when we were talking
Yeah,
with
salt
the
free.
hospital. Yeah.
And Mrs. Dash has a lot of different seasonings, and they're all
Mhm.
salt free.
Okay. So, coconut oil. Does it matter what kind of coconut oil?
Um, I prefer the unrefined virgin coconut oil.
Okay. Yeah, and I use that we could with our eggs. I make popcorn.
Yeah, it's great, and I mean you get your omega fats in that. It's also great for heart health. Um, I mean, there are some that are okay, but it's just everything we put on our body, we want it to have some health benefit. You know, we eat to live, we don't live to eat. So anything we can do, just a little extra, is going to help.
Okay, so it's just kind of changing the mindset a little bit.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I've we've had to do some of that here. So, all right, what other tip was there? You have a pasta,
yeah. If you, I mean,
pastas and
sometimes it's
breads.
unavoidable. I don't really eat pasta and bread, but I'm also gluten intolerant. So those that are not gluten intolerant, there's not a lot of health benefits in breads and pastas, but just avoid eating them for dinner because it's going to process the sugar as you sleep. Rice and potatoes are great starches that starch and carbs that you can replace for dinner time. You can have breads and pastas. Just keep it for the lunch. You'll have more time to burn it off. And um, typically, if your body's processing things as sugar throughout the night, you're going to wake up feeling bad, headaches, stomach aches, brain fog.
Okay. Okay. And so, like you were talking, what was the other thing? You said foods that are in season. So, when you're talking about foods that are in season, so like right now, things that are in season would be you've got apples are still fresh.
Hmm. Apples, cauliflower. Um, oh my gosh, what is on? Plums are coming out. Pumpkin. Fall's a fun season to eat in season. There's a lot of tasty things to eat.
The squashes.
Squashes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have a question about produce or some of the tips that are up here, or an additional tip that you guys have that would be a good one to add to the list here? So I know we're like a 20-second delay, so we'll try to see if anybody has any questions or tips here. And then I know you've got a couple of suggestions on staying active as well.
Yes. Well, also going with food, that if you eat dinner earlier, that gives you time to enjoy like a nice walk with your family after you eat. During dinner, you should keep all the electronics away, like enjoy a positive conversation with your family. Um, right now, the weather is still pretty nice, and before
Yeah.
it gets wintertime, like really enjoy the outdoors. If you like to ride your bikes, you get the family involved. If you have dogs, walk the dogs. 10,000 steps a day is an active individual. So a lot of people have the trackers or your steps. So really try to get the 10,000 steps in. With the activity, 30 minutes a day, that's also an essential part of living healthy. It's at least 30 minutes of activity every day. Um, find an activity you enjoy doing and do it every day. If you like dancing in the living room, dance in the living room every day. Um, a lot of us are working from home these days, so take breaks at your desk or sit on a yoga ball instead of your chair. It's going to engage your core, arm movement. I mean, we can do it right now. We can do some wall sits and some jumping jacks. If it's really nice outside, maybe some of you want to take a walk while we're chatting. Just getting the activity in when you can. Since we are working from home, you are missing out on steps. You're not walking to your car. You're not parking. You're not using the stairs at your office. You're at home more. It's really important to take breaks, set your alarms on your phones or wherever, and every hour take like 10 minutes, and whether it's squats, walk around the living room, jumping jacks. There's a lot you can do in your homes. YouTube has a lot of options for workouts if you like yoga or boxing, and just be mindful. And it's 30 minutes of your day. Like anyone can, you have 30 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes here, 10-minute intervals of throughout your day. Like you can make it happen. You have control.
That's true, I guess, and it's taking the control,
Yes,
making
and
that a
it's fun getting the
priority.
family involved, doing plank competitions. You can create a game, or there's games that like there's actual like a ball that you toss, and I'll tell you what you need to do for your activity, whether it's jumping jacks, push-ups, making the activity fun. You don't have to spend 2 hours in the gym every night to be healthy. Um, Taking care of you is number one. You're taking care of your family, and if you can't take care of your family if you're not taken care of, so the end of this, I want to offer everyone a free lifestyle change consultation, which all my information will be set up. But that way we can talk about your individual goals. We can get you where you want to be so that you can be number one for your family. Because I know we all are the ones that are taking care of everybody else, and you have to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of one of the things that we've talked about in previous chats is that you have to be able to take care of you to be able to take care of someone else.
Absolutely.
And you've got to be healthy.
Yeah. It's selfless. It's not selfish. It's selfless.
Yeah, and that is a point. And I'm a very guilty person about not always putting myself first, and I wasn't when my kids were little. So and they, thank goodness, are doing that. As they're getting older, they're taking care of themselves. But it's yeah, making yourself a priority is tough. But especially during this time when we are kind of stuck inside and we can't do a whole lot. It's the yeah, Carmen, amen. Um, the lost my train of thought. Taking care of yourself. Oh, with being stuck inside, it also is a good stress reliever, just to kind of, whether it is dancing or doing a workout or just going for a walk for a little while. I mean,
and stress management is another essential part of living healthy, and exercise is stress management. So you can, mark hit two birds with one stone with that. And
yeah.
And it pumps those endorphins. Happy people exercise. I like to be around happy people. Everyone should exercise.
Yeah. Well, and it does. It kind of, whether it lets you get out of your head for a little bit or just kind of do something else. Or I took control of my son's Oculus, his virtual reality
nice
gaming system that has my friends that know, it's got like it's the old Dance Revolution, but it's with lightsabers. It's called Beat Saber.
I think I've heard of that one. Yeah.
It's I'm kind of obsessed. It's a workout but it's intense. But it's very fun. But yeah,
there's a lot of fun stuff out there to do that's active.
Yeah.
Especially with winter hitting, you're going to be stuck indoors more, and to find things that you enjoy doing inside is important.
Yeah. Now I know you said when you and I were talking, yeah, I have a friend that's laughing at me because a couple have played with me. um yeah, that's a whole other night. One of the things that we talked about were a couple of recipes. You had a couple of your favorite recipes that you're going to share later, but they were the overnight oats?
Yep, overnight oats and muffin tin eggs. They're for breakfast. So I know, cooking every meal it's time consuming, and you have those nights you want to or those mornings where you want to sleep in, and overnight oats is made. It lasts like 3 or 4 days in the fridge, and you can make a big batch of them, and they're tasty and they're filling and nutritious for the mornings. And then the muffin tin eggs are basically scrambled eggs. You make your scrambled eggs, put your vegetables in, and chia seeds, everything that you want, and you put them in muffin tins and you bake them. And so they taste great warmed up, even cold. Like I warm them up, but you can eat them cold.
I don't eat cold ones, but those are really good.
Yeah, they're like quick, very quick. You get them in the car, and they're great for the kids too. They're nutritious, and the kids will like them. They taste good, and it's like a grab and go breakfast.
Yeah, we used to. Everybody could put in what they wanted, whether it was breakfast sausage or mushrooms, or so everybody had their own where they could make their own, and then could pull those out in the morning. So their own special ones to heat up. So those of you that are on, do you have a favorite recipe? And Nicole said she would share the links to those recipes a little bit later. But what do you have for your favorite, like fall breakfast or fall dinner? I know crock pots are a big thing, so we do taco soup, chili. We try to keep the sodium down a little bit and keep, but putting in some extra healthy things, whether it's sweet potato chili. My daughter, I know, makes a really good sweet potato chili. But what else? Does anybody have any other suggestions or favorites that they've got? We're being really quiet tonight. I know Renee cooks a lot, so see if she has a favorite here. I'll call her
And
out.
it doesn't have to be healthy. I could tell you what to substitute to make it a little
Ah,
healthier. Like one of my favorite substitutes is Greek yogurt for sour cream. Like I love sour cream, but it doesn't have any health benefits and it's full of fat. It's not good for you. And Greek yogurt, I can't tell the difference. No one that everything that I've substituted it in, no one can tell the difference. So
yeah, that
if
is
there's any recipes that you want to share that aren't the healthiest and like to know some substitutes, I could help you with that.
perfect. All right, well, there we go. Yeah, Renee, I love sweet potato chili. Lori said spaghetti squash turned into noodles and homemade sauce. Yum. Yeah,
Very good. Yes. And with the chilies, and you really want to use uh, fresh tomatoes. Try to stay away from canned tomatoes.
yeah. That's one of those very convenient, and I'm guilty of that one. I do use fresh tomatoes sometimes, but yeah, pulling the can of diced tomatoes is just super easy.
Try to get them. Try to get it as organic as possible.
Yeah. So Lori said homemade sauce. So if Lori, if you've got a homemade sauce recipe you want to share, that would be awesome. Carmen, sour cream and dry French onion soup is great with veggies.
Mmm, that does sound
That sounds
good.
good. Well, and I'm assuming you could do the same thing. So instead of sour cream, use Greek yogurt with the French onion soup.
Yeah, and it is the exact
Yeah, ditto Greek
same
yogurt. Yeah.
exchange for Greek yogurt.
Okay. Ah, okay. So yeah. So Lori, if you want to share your sauce recipe, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's Lori's recipe. I was gonna say Renee shared the tomato puttanesca recipe with me, and I tried it, and it was really good.
That's you
But
guys
that
are
was
making
fresh
me
tomato. Oh,
hungry.
it was good.
This stuff
I
does
know.
sound good.
So we may have to, at the end of this session, have a nice long recipe sharing.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I pulled out one of the recipes that I had, and I'll share it too. Is a, I think I told you, it was a superhero muffin recipe.
Yes,
So it's like a breakfast muffin, but it's got oats and it's got some different things in there. Mary, breakfast
oats is a
flavored with
great
roasted
substitute
eggs.
for
Oh,
baking.
that sounds really good, Mary. I've seen some pictures of those breakfast burritos and they look amazing.
That sounds delicious too.
But all right, well, I'm trying to think if does anybody have any other questions, and then I will share Nicole's information for a free consult for her to because she and I went over a consult because I had some questions and I have been working out and trying to get healthy and lose weight. And so Nicole brainstormed with me and she walked through different things with me and helped give me some ideas about what I'm doing, what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, some food substitutions. So that was incredibly helpful. So um, if she is going to give that opportunity, I'll put that up here. So a free lifestyle consult, change consult. So her information is there. I highly recommend you doing that because I have goals that I am working on. So it's going to be a process. It's going to be a marathon, not a sprint for me. So,
For everyone, just to be conscious every day and do a little bit better than you did the day before. I mean, it's it's not a straight shot. You're going to relapse too. You're going to relapse from your goals, but you know, when you get a flat tire, you don't flatten the other three. You put that spare on, and you keep going. You you know, don't beat yourself up when you don't have a perfect day. There's rare, but as long as you continue to be conscious of your goals and you keep working towards them, you're going to reach them. And falling in love with the process. That's important. Falling in love with taking care of yourself.
um, yeah, it's definitely going to be a process, and I'm working. I, yeah. So one of the things that I had to work on was upping my water. I do drink a lot of water, but upped my water and changing out some of my snacks, as my daughter would tell me to get rid of my cereal. So different things that are, but everybody's got their things that they are doing well with. So give yourself credit,
Yeah.
and do it just to be healthy. I mean, after our health scare this year, and I'm doing my best to keep him as healthy as possible. And it'd be silly if I wasn't doing the same thing for myself. So I hope everybody else is doing the same, and doing the best for yourself. Um, Especially, with all the stress that's going on, take it and do what you can to help. Just be good to yourself. Be nice to you. So,
Yes.
all right.
Celebrate your small wins.
Yeah. And I definitely am guilty of not doing that. So, yeah. So, hopefully, we can do that for each other. So, all right. Well, I will. Nicole's information is here, and I'll put it on my Facebook page again there. But thank you very much for joining, giving us some tips.
My
And
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
you're welcome. I'll put the tips back up. I'll put them in a comment so people can see them. The tips and the your information. Sorry, the live consult. It's been a day. It's not a Monday.
I understand.
So just in case, yeah, thank you, Nicole. People are saying thank you.
Oh, thank you for watching.
Yay.
I
So
hope you learned something.
Oh, yeah. Tonight there's like a meteor shower. Did you hear that?
No.
There's like, or not the meteor shower. Sorry. It's the Andromeda galaxy. Milky Way is the closest to us this month, anyway, but tonight is supposed to be good viewing, and the weather's amazing. So
Wow, I'm going to check it out. Do you know what time it is?
I think it's just visible
Oh,
all
okay.
evening. All evening.
It's a great night to take a walk and check out the Milky Way.
That is my plan. And then just as a reminder, I'll change this, and then I'll give them this information at the end. In 2 weeks, so tonight was Nicole, and in 2 weeks, Rachel Willoughby Green and her husband Jeremy Green are going to be coming on and talking about, it's kind of a heavier topic, but it's going to be good. It's the topic is mostly, it's okay to not be okay, about how to deal with things, and how right now everybody just needs to be able to reach out to other people and deal and figure things out and get some help and support.
I really like Rachel. I know Rachel. She's a really good person.
Yes, amazing. And they've started a whole separate restore. So we'll get more into that next time. But I'm so excited, and just kind of talking about thinking about the holidays are coming up, and life is going to look a little different this year. So
yeah,
it'll be good. But anyway, thank you very much for joining for tonight.
Well, my pleasure. You can have me back before Thanksgiving so we can talk about staying healthy during the holidays.
Making good choices. That's all good.
You can try a little bit of everything. Just don't take the leftovers home, and focus on the activity with your family and not the food.
There you go. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, thank you very much. And I will get all the information put out.
Well, thank you, Patty. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.